Hey everybody, Jim here with another video for you. This is Shocktober Volume 25, my horror film collection on Blu-ray, Part 6, from 2000 to 2011. But before we begin, at the end of this video, if you like what you see, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe. But most importantly, please leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about the films in my collection. Let me know about some of the films in your collection that I should add to mine. Okay, so originally I was going to wrap this collection video up and do all of the remaining films from 2000 to 2024, but quite frankly, again, there's way too many films. So I just decided to break this last part into two, okay? So we're going to start off with 2000 and work our way through 2011. I want to throw out a couple of caveats. Number one, these are only the films that I have on Blu-ray. I'm not including any of my DVDs. This is not a ranking video of any kind. These are the films that came out during that time period, and at the end of the month, I'm actually going to do a top 25 favorite horror movies from my entire collection, which will include some DVDs. Another thing, this won't be the most aesthetically pleasing video ever because some of these movies that are in this particular video are part of box sets, so you'll be seeing lots and lots of discs, okay? And I'm also not going to go into plots or anything too much because, again, I want to jam through this as quickly as possible. And one last bit of business before we begin, I have a little housekeeping to go. I forgot two movies from yesterday's video from the 90s, and I want to kind of highlight those right now. So the first one is Brian Yuzna's Society. This one actually came out in '89 overseas, but it didn't actually hit theaters here until '92. So that was one of the reasons why it got missed. But again, very bizarre movie. I don't even know if I could recommend this or not. If you're into body horror, yeah, you'll love this movie. It's got a very, very dark sense of humor. And the last movie that I forgot is Bride of Chucky from 1998. And this one stars Brad Dourif, Jennifer Tilly, and Katherine Heigl, among others. Again, I don't know why I forgot it, but yeah, this is the last Chucky movie that I own. I don't own anything after this. Yeah, but this movie it's for what it is, it's entertaining. Okay, guys, we're going to start 2000 right now. And here we go, our first selection from the year 2000 from my Scream box set, Scream 3. Directed by Wes Craven, starring the usual cast of characters. Next, we have from my Final Destination collection. We're going with the first installment, Final Destination, of course. Directed by James Wong and starring Devon Sawa and a couple other people, but Stifler. Well, Sean William Scott. It's the best out of the series. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely the best. Great concept, great movie. And then we've got from my Riddick collection, the original, Pitch Black, starring Vin Diesel and Radha Mitchell, among others, directed by David Twohy. Again, I understand this is more of a science fiction movie, but let's face it, the first Pitch Black was more or less a science fiction horror film, and it's the best in that trilogy, without a doubt. Then we got a couple of bizarre ones for you. The first one, The Cell, starring Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio, among others, and directed by Tarsem Singh. Great serial killer movie with excellent visuals. And the last film from 2000, and definitely the most bizarre, from Rui Kitamura, Versus. I'm not going to try to attempt to say any of the names in the cast. Sorry, I just can't spit them out. And we are on a tight schedule. Batshit crazy movie. Absolutely love it. All right, 2001. Let's keep that batshit crazy movement going with foreign films. And we have Brotherhood of the Wolf, directed by Christoph Gaines, starring Mark Dacascos in a great role. If you don't know who he is, watch John Wick. He's the sushi chef. Excellent, crazy movie. Then from the Hughes brothers, we have From Hell. starring Johnny Depp and Heather Graham, among others. This is a retelling of the Jack the Ripper tale, based on a graphic novel. Really atmospheric film. I really enjoy it. Oh, here's a guilty pleasure for me. Not so much for you. Jason X. Jason Goes to Outer Space. Starring Kane Hodder as Jason. You don't really care about anybody else in this movie. Jim Isaac directed it. Really dumb movie. I still think it's a lot of fun. Then from this box set, or double feature pack, I should say, we have Jeepers Creepers, the first one. Starring, who cares? We're running out of time. First Jeepers Creepers is a great movie. Writer-director is a piece of shit who should burn in hell. And the last film from 2001, Slow Burn, psychological ghost story, Session 9, directed by Brad Anderson and starring David Caruso, Peter Mullan, and Brandon Sexton III, among others. Great movie. Slow burn, gets under your skin. Great, great movie. Pardon my reach. I'm trying to keep things in order here. Okay, we're at 2002. We only got 3 titles from this year. The first one is from my Blade trilogy, Blade 2. Starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Of the 3 Blade films, it's definitely the one that is the most horrific, and it's my favorite of the 3. Then from director Don Coscarelli, Bubba Hotep, starring Bruce Campbell and Ozzie Davis. Bruce Campbell is an old man Elvis, and Ozzie Davis is a African-American old man JFK in a nursing home fighting a soul-sucking mummy. Count me in. I love this crazy movie. And the last from 2002, and certainly not the least, Neil Marshall's Dog Soldiers, starring Kevin McKidd, Sean Pertwee, and Liam Cunningham, among others. I absolutely love this movie. Absolutely love it. Okay, 2003. Again, we only got 3 movies. We got a couple of sequels and a reboot, kind of. First sequel is Final Destination 2. The second is Jeepers Creepers 2. And the last film from that year is Freddy vs. Jason, starring Robert Englund and Ken Kinzinger, as Jason, directed by Ronnie Yu. Yeah, this movie hasn't aged well. Okay, 2004. Blade Trinity. Horrible movie. We won't talk about it anymore. And then we have Saw. Now, from this point on, you're going to be seeing lots of discs and lots of sequels. But the first Saw came out in 2004, and it's still the best, without a doubt. And from this multi-pack, the Cornetto trilogy, we have the incredible Edgar Wright-directed Shaun of the Dead, starring Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. Absolutely love this movie. This one, 28 Days Later, and the movie that's coming up next definitely revitalized the zombie genre. And the last one from that year, and certainly not the least, Zack Snyder's reimagining of Dawn of the Dead, starring Ving Rhames, Sarah Polley, Mekhi Phifer, and Jake Weber, among others. Fantastic. This is how remakes should be done. This movie is great. I love, 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 love Dawn of the Dead. 2005. Here we go with those discs again. We've got Saw 2. Then we've got Rob Zombie's directed The Devil's Rejects, which is my favorite movie directed from Rob Zombie. This one stars the late, great Sid Haig, Sherry Moon Zombie, and Bill Moseley, among others. William Forsythe, also got to give him a shout out. Like I said, this is my favorite Rob Zombie movie. It's not even close. And from this double pack, we've got Eli Roth's original Hostel, starring Jay Hernandez and Derek Richardson, among others. I love Hostel. I love both Hostel movies, actually. But yeah, man, that first one, it really got under my skin. No pun intended. And the final film from 2005 Speaking of Dawn of the Dead earlier, we have George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, his return to the zombie genre, in large part because of the success of Shaun of the Dead. This one is starring Simon Baker, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper, among others. Not as good as the original Dead trilogy, but I still really enjoy this movie. Okay, let's move this stack along and hope to God that it doesn't fall. Okay, we are at 2006. We got a couple more sequels for you. The first one is Final Destination 3. This is the one with the roller coaster. Or no, I'm sorry, this is the one with the, this is the one with the roller coaster. See, I get them mixed up. The first two are the only ones I really like. And then, here we go with the Saw train. We got Saw 2. Then we've got a really great movie that nobody's really heard of except for diehard horror junkies. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Comedy horror. Brilliant deconstruction of the slasher genre, in my opinion. This one stars Nathan Basil and Zelda Rubinstein, Scott Wilson, and Robert Englund, among others. Check this movie out if you get a chance. It's a lot of fun. This one is not. John Moore's remake of The Omen, starring Liev Schreiber and what the hell's her name? Julia Stiles, I'm sorry, and Mia Farrow. Yeah, stick to the original classic from Richard Donner. And don't worry, Roy, I'm not going to do the music because this movie doesn't deserve it. Okay, this one's great though. James Gunn's Slither, starring Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, and Michael Rooker, among others. Greg Henry. I got to mention Greg Henry. He's awesome in this movie as the mayor. He's hilarious. This is a really fun movie. And the last one from that year, technically not a horror movie, but what the hell. Samuel L. Jackson in Snakes on a Plane. Totally ridiculous movie. But again, kind of a Jaws ripoff. So I threw it on here. Okay, moving right along, guys. We are at 2007. And we're going to start off with some more sequels. This time we've got Saw. Which one is this? See, I've already lost track of the damn Saw movies. This one is Saw 3. Saw 4. I'm sorry, Saw 3 was on the last pile. Yeah, Saw 4. Like I said, I get them all confused. And we also have Hostel 2. Okay. Then we've got 30 Days of Night, starring Josh Hartnett, Danny Hudson, and the great, Ben Foster. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Excellent, excellent vampire movie. Very dark, very bloody. I really enjoy this movie a lot. And we got some Stephen King stuff for you. The first one is 1408, starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. Very similar in plot and tone to The Shining. It has to deal with a haunted hotel room. For a PG-13 movie, this one's pretty creepy. But this one's on another level. The Mist. Written and directed by Frank Darabont. And with a great cast. Thomas Jane, Laurie Holden, Marcia Gay Harden, Toby Jones. I mean, just great, great ensemble cast. Absolutely love this movie. Very divisive. Has one of the darkest endings of all time. I absolutely love it. And then we've got one of the funnest cinematic experiences of my life. Grindhouse. Directed by Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. This was the double feature with Planet Terror and Death Proof with those crazy trailers in the middle. A couple of those movies have been made into feature films now, Machete and Thanksgiving. Love this movie. I absolutely love it. Same thing with this one. I absolutely love this one. Wreck. From Spain. This is one of the few found footage movies that I really enjoy because the way that it's constructed, it's not as shaky as most found footage movies. It's supposed to be you're following a news crew. Absolutely love this movie. I just included this one on a all-night challenge video that I did yesterday. Love it, love it, love it. Great movie. Okay, we are moving right along. Now we are at 2008. We've only got 3 titles from this year. The first one is another year, another Saw movie. We got Saw 5. We got another found footage movie, but again, this one I actually enjoy as well. Cloverfield. This is a kaiju movie told from being on the ground with your phone. Fun movie. Lizzie Kaplan, T.J. Miller. You know, good time. This one is great. The Strangers. This might be the best home invasion movie of the decade. It is so effective. Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman. Great, great movie. Directed by Brian Bertino. Yeah, can't recommend this one enough. It really gets under your skin. Okay, we are at 2009. And we have The Final Destination, which is part 4. And that's a lying sack of crap because there is another one coming out after this. This is the one about NASCAR. And yeah, this one sucks. Another year, another Saw sequel. We've got Saw 6. And another reboot, but one of the better ones. The reboot of Friday the 13th. Starring Jared Padalecki and Danielle Pennebaker, among others. Directed by Marcus Nispel. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. Compared to some of the other rebooted material that came out around that time, I'm looking at you, Nightmare on Elm Street. This movie's great. And then we have Rec 2, the sequel to the original. This one takes place 15 minutes after the first one ends. And again, extremely, extremely effective movie. Man, this movie's good. I think this one's just as good as the first. It's one of the few sequels that is just as good as the original. Check it out. The rest of the Rec movies are hit and miss. And the last one from 2009 is Zombieland, directed by Ruben Fleischer and starring Woody Harrelson in one of my favorite performances from him. Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, and a great cameo from Bill Murray. Yeah, Zombieland is so much fun. Okay, 2010. We have another Saw movie. This one is called Saw, The Final Chapter. You're full of shit. They made quite a few after this one. Now, this one says The Final Chapter. This one was also released as Saw 3D that year. And then we've got The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, and this one is directed by, I forget now. Doesn't matter. Really solid movie. Very solid movie. This movie doesn't get the credit it deserves. It's a very, very solid movie. Check it out if you get a chance. It's not the best version of the Wolfman, but like I said, it's a very solid flick. Then we've got Legion. This one's about demons and angels and the apocalypse. And it stars Dennis Quaid, Paul Bettany, Tyrese Gibson, Lucas Black. It's a solid cast. Decent movie. This one is one of my favorites, though. I love this movie. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, starring Tyler Labine, Alan Tudyk, and Katrina Bowden, directed by Eli Craig. It doesn't get much better than this as far as horror comedies go. I mean, this movie, for a dumb movie, it's very smart, and it is very bloody, and it is very entertaining. I can't not recommend this movie enough. And the final film, we're going to end on a bang here. 2011, Final Destination 5. See, I told you there was another one of these movies, and quite honestly, there's a 6th one that is in the works right now. This is the one about the bridge. This one's better than the 2 previous installments. I still don't like it as much as the first 2, but I do like the way this movie ends. It's got a nice little way to wrap up the series. And that's the way we're going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, it's a little discombobulated with all these discs. Unfortunately, the next one, there's still a couple more Saw sequels and such, so we're You're going to have to deal with it. But yeah, I know it's a weird place to end the video as far as 2011 goes. But like I said, I kind of just wanted to split the remaining collection in half. So there you go. I'm going to crank out the final installment either later on this evening or first thing in the morning. So I hope everybody is having a great day. And please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe. Most importantly, leave those comments. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you on the next one.